Oh, okay. Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday, and welcome to the WIS Newsroom on this South Carolina snow day. Judy Gadsden here, along with First Alert meteorologist Vaughn Gaskin. And Vaughn, let me just start off. First of all, we got some pictures and video already coming in. We'll share that with you in just a moment. Of course, Vaughn has the latest on the forecast. But let me just say, in this internet age where everybody on social media is a meteorologist now, listen, I know y'all were focused on the forecast, but all the conversations I was hearing on social media, people were kind of going in about you all even daring mention the S word earlier this week. And you were very conservative in your forecast, saying, look, you know, we want to see how this comes together. You were very transparent in what the models were showing, and you shared your expertise. You said, I really think this thing is going to hold together. So you have been talking about this since Monday, despite all the drama on social media. But the snow day has arrived. That's my point. Our snow day is here.
It has. It has. And I mean, we are getting the perfect South Carolina setup.
Yes.
There's only one way that South Carolina gets snow, and this is it. You have to have low pressure off the coast, upper level low supporting it, and that wrap around it's significant. It's like the head of the comma. It has to kind of come over us, and that's what's happening. That's exactly what we're getting. And I mean, it's a fluffy snow, and temperatures are supporting it just being a fluffy snow, not wet. So, and we're going to get a decent amount of it. So if you just wait it out a little while, I know the kids already are ready to get out there, and we have some great cute pictures from kids and everybody out there. But by, I'd say, in a few more hours, you'll really have a nice little snowpack for them to enjoy.
Well, it's so funny. Victor, who's on our production team, took a picture of some snow outside. He said it looks kind of like Dippin' Dots.
Dippin' Dots, yeah.
Dippin' Dots snow. So listen, we want to show you a few pictures and things that have come in. This is Sam Thomas. So our general manager, Robbie Thomas, lives out in Northeast Columbia. So we know that Northeast Richland County is already seeing some snow. Sam is out there ready to help DOT clear the way. Looks like that might be some good snow angel snow out there, Vaughn.
Absolutely. Sam is getting it in, and he looks so happy about it.
I know. His puppy's out in the snow with him too, running around and enjoying it. I don't know if my black labs are out yet, but listen, what puppy does not love the snowflakes, okay? Oh my gosh. We want to see all of your weather pictures and video. Now, we also got video from Julia Westerman. Now, this is out in Northeast Richland County, as I mentioned, just to give you some perspective. Julia is closer to downtown, not too far off Gervais Street, and she sent this more than an hour ago.
Right. There's more than that out there now. I just looked out the window, and it is completely white in some of those areas. So it is coming down. It's slow and steady, but it's what we want. It's the way you want it to come down if you do have to get it, because it makes it fluffy, you know? So that is going to be perfect for you. Like I said, just give it another couple hours or so if the kids want a nice little snow pack to have, you know?
Yes. So I'm checking Facebook. I pulled it up on the feed because I want to see any questions that you all have. Lizzie has a question saying, when will snow start to pick up? Thank y'all for going live and doing the updates. Lizzie, it is our pleasure to be here with you all. Thank you. Brooke is on our team, our digital team. Brooke is so on point, giving us the DOT view and all of that. But Lizzie's wanting to know, because the snow is indeed going to pick up.
Well, we may get a heavier push coming in from the west just after about lunchtime or so. That's when we kind of get, right now we're kind of dealing with the outer fringes of it. You'll see kind of a thicker band starting to head in, and at times it'll come down steadier and then it'll slow up a little bit. You got to understand that sometimes you get drier slots in there, and so it may stop altogether for a little while and then start back. So you're just going to have to kind of wait for it to kind of stack up to what you want to see out there. But some of those flakes are real big and juicy. Some of them are small. And so as we look at this DOT camera, you can see it coming down decently out there, but it's not white out, if you will.
Yeah.
Probably not going to get white out conditions now, but a thicker snow shower, certainly not out of the realm of possibility. And as we look at those cameras, that's something I wanted to do as I started talking today. Just kind of look at some of the DOT cameras, because on the actual roadways, they have been treated well. We know they've been primed. And so we are seeing what almost looks like just rain. It kind of melts on contact, and that's what we're seeing on the actual road. But then if you look at the grassy areas in there, you can start to see where that white is starting to stack up in some of those grassier areas in there. So that's what we're kind of waiting on. And as we look at Segra Park, they have it covered out there. And so we're going to start to see it adding up there just under the scoreboard. You can see where we're starting to see some white show up there. That's also a grassy area that we're looking at. And so some of those elevated and grassy areas already starting to look like a nice little snowpack. 28 degrees for us temperature wise, snow still falling. That 28 feels like 20. Now Lake Murray, that's an area that started getting snow early on, about 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning. They started taking on their snow showers. And so we're seeing that ramp that we can usually look out. It is now becoming covered. I'm pretty sure no one's getting on the boat today, but hey, if you're feeling adventurous, I mean, you know, I know some people feel like this is the perfect weather. They love these chilly temperatures like this. Now, not me. I'm not saying it's me, but some people really like the cold temperatures, especially when we had all that warm air around Christmas. They were telling me they were waiting on the cold. I can't wait for it to get cold. I want some cold. Well, here you go. You have it. It feels like 20 degrees out there right now. So,
wow.
Yeah, you got it. But looking at our satellite and radar, again, we've still got a little bit more to go. If you can look at the area that's up near the upstate, it's kind of a deeper shade of blue. That is expected to kind of cycle in. And so it'll pick up some, again, not whiteout conditions, but just some decent snow showers.
Well, looking at the upstate, Georgiana, we'll get to your question in just a second about will the wind still pick up. That is a great question because that factors into that feel-like temperature, right?
Yeah.
But since you mentioned the upstate, Vaughn, we were actually in Greenville last night, took my boys to the Peace Center where the play The Outsiders is. And some of you will remember Cam West, who several seasons ago was on The Voice on John Legend's team. Well, he's a music teacher over at Heathwood Hall, and his brother, Tyler Wesley, is also in the arts. So he was performing up in Greenville. So we went to support him last night. I say all of that to say, girl, when we got up in Greenville, mountains of ice, like, you know, that they dozed off the road, like it's still on the sidewalks and it was still iced out. Like we had to be careful walking around downtown. So when I look at that map and see what they're going to get today, that's going to be a little tricky situation, especially travel. And I know a couple of you are asking about travel. So Brooke, thanks for putting Georgiana's question up. We want to answer as many questions as we can.
Yeah,
so
but
we'll start to
that wind will stick around. It hadn't really gotten here yet. So the wind is really going to start to pick up overnight. This area of low pressure that's over there, you know, I'm sure you've been hearing all these different bombs, cyclones, bombogenesis, bombing out. It's just going to drop the pressure really, really quickly within a 24-hour period. And because that happens, it's almost going to be like a Category 2 hurricane at some point with how strong the winds are going to be and how low that pressure is going to be really. And so as that happens now, a lot of that will be staying over to our north and east, but nonetheless, the winds will certainly be picking up around here for us overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning, and that does factor into that feels like temperature. Let's see if we can get to some of that. That's another look at the radar. Right now, it's 28 Columbia and in Lexington. It's already 23 up in Chester and Lancaster, so they are getting some seriously cold air. Here are the winds. So right now, we're at about 9 miles per hour or so for your wind in Camden, 5 in Columbia, and 7 in Lexington. And that's just the beginning. It's really going to get worse through the course of the night. And that's another reason we want you to stay put, you know. No need to worry about it. Just kind of stay put and stay where you are. It already feels like 11 degrees in Chester right now.
Oh, my goodness.
It feels like 17 in Camden.
Wow. And I know you just
cold.
mentioned Lexington. Susan was asking, where is the Lexington snow? But they're definitely going to get it, right?
They've already gotten some snow.
I was going to say, I think that, Susan, let us know where you are.
Yeah.
And if your conditions have changed. Listen, you know how South Carolina weather is even before winter weather. If you don't like it for 5 minutes, you know, just wait and it'll likely change. But Lexington definitely is in on this winter weather action. Some questions also, Vaughn, about what we're expecting in terms of road conditions. And that is also a good time to remind you, this winter weather is very different from last week's winter weather.
Right.
Last week was
Ice.
And so if your driveway or road or whatever wasn't iced over, people felt like, oh, it was no big deal. We didn't, have
Right.
that much of a situation to deal with. But if you hit a patch of ice, and I was so glad Dwayne was driving, even on the interstate, we went over a slick spot, which caught my attention quickly. I mean, the roads were overall in good condition, so, not to embellish it at all, but I'm just saying, especially in those areas like Newberry or those secondary roads that are not a priority in terms of when these roads go out to get treated. SCDOT pointed out, I think that was Thursday, it was early when they did their news conference.
Yes.
But they said that the main interstates are the top priority. Then they moved to the primary roads like Highway 378, Highway 1, all of those. And then they focus on those secondary roads as a priority. But as this picks up, that will impact their operations as well.
Absolutely. Remember, snow is going to be slushy.
Yes.
As opposed to ice, which is slick and hard, it's frozen. Now with this, it is frozen, but it'll be slushy probably until we get to overnight, where it really gets to a hard freeze on it. Then it's going to be dangerous, because then it melts and it turns into like a sheet of black ice, because it melts. Like right now with it coming down, it's slushy, it's fine. And we also add to the fact that most of the roads have been treated. Now, when it freezes over, that's when you have to start worrying. It is about it freezing over and kind of turning into that sheet of ice. That will happen for us through the course of the evening as your temperatures continue to fall.
Well, I was going to say, our temperatures have already started dropping some, haven't they?
They are, but understand the road and the asphalt temperature is different.
Oh, that's right. Good
Your
reminder.
road
Right,
temperature is a
right.
little bit higher than your actual air temperature. But now, of course, bridges and overpasses, that's a different
situation.
story,
Yeah.
because they don't have the insulation from the ground that your asphalt road has. So that bridge and overpass, I mean, really, it would be dangerous on it at times now if it gets wet enough. And we can see that it's certainly moistening up out there. And so if it refreezes on those bridges and overpasses, then you've got a skating rink. You've got a sheet of ice there.
Girl,
and
yeah.
that's the last thing you want. And I mean, the texture of the road will change so quickly from that asphalt, and then you're on a bridge and you think you can drive at 60 miles per hour, and then boom, you're sliding.
Wow.
So you have to really, really watch that. And with the DOT cameras, I was showing you some of those outdoor cameras, and I have an example on here. Hopefully I won't lock my computer up by trying to go back and forth on all my graphics.
It'll work with you. Hold
okay.
it. Won't freeze
Work
up.
with-
There, you got it?
Okay, work with me. Yeah,
Okay.
there we go. I got Sandra downstairs if I have to call her.
Okay.
But I wanted to show you the one where we had all the different roads on here. Okay, so look at this one, and you can see a road here where you're starting to get some patches, a road that's not traveled as much. Of course, you're looking at this, the one to our left, you can see it's traveled more than the one to the right. And so you can already see, we're starting to see some snow accumulate on that right one. This is also snow now, remember that. So it's still gonna start to get a little bit slushy there because it's not being traveled. Nonetheless, we're seeing it on both, but the one that's not very heavily traveled, we're starting to see it accumulate more. You can see the white there. So imagine driving on that. That's also a bridge. You drive on that at a high rate of speed, and it's not slushy, it turns slick, and boom, you're sliding.
And can I just ask you all, if you are going to the USC basketball game, that's what I was pulling up on social media to see if they had any updates. So they moved the men's basketball game with LSU up to 1 o'clock today. But they put out all of these conditions. I mean, and I'm going to always keep it real. Part of me feels like if you got to put out all of these conditions, maybe we shouldn't do this, but that's not my call to make. So I do want to make sure that you have the information. They're saying if you are making plans to attend today's Gamecock men's basketball game, we ask that you please be careful on the roads. Of course, extra precautions are being taken to get safe people in and out safely, but they are asking you to use the front entrance. They're saying that the surface lots are not going to be open, so they're going to have the parking garage open. But they say be patient if staffing throughout the arena is impacted by weather conditions, and they're posting all of that, but that's set for 1 o'clock today. So I'm just saying that we still will be in, I don't want to necessarily the thick of it, but we'll still be in an active weather situation at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So just keep that in mind and know your route. Check the roads ahead of time. We've got great resources on WISTV.com where you can check road conditions and see, if any roads have been impacted or closed down or if there are any major accidents. And Vaughn, I wish we had a camera to show just outside the studio. I mean, we see the snow coming down pretty good now, and a layer on the ground on the grassy surfaces.
Yeah, nice layer there. Yeah. So I'm sure that the USC students will be able to enjoy that pretty soon. Those who are still on campus for this weekend, they should be able to enjoy that right down the street there. But yeah, it's coming down. You just got to give it some time to add up and accumulate. And I think we'll be pleasantly happy with the way it is. And based on my calculations, we're probably at about an inch in some areas. Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I can
Okay.
definitely see us at about an inch
Wow.
for the amount there. And you have to remember, when we're talking about this nice fluffy snow, you can take about 6 inches of it and it's compressed down to 1 inch of rain. But again, if there's something in your yard or at your house that's undisturbed and you can measure it with a ruler, yardstick, something like that, send us some pictures of how much you have seen so far. I'd love to see some of that, some of those numbers starting to come in for us.
Well, Whitney says it's coming down pretty good in Chapin, and Whitney Gregg actually lives out that way. His wife sent him a text earlier saying that his little boy Eli was suiting up, getting ready to get out in that snow. Is this snow? Is this good snow for like a snowman? Not really.
Well,
maybe? I don't
they're
know.
not expecting it to be able to compact tightly,
yeah.
but hey, you can work through
You'll
that.
work with it.
You can work through that.
It.
Get you a
Exactly.
little water somewhere. You can work with that. Yeah.
All right. So I'm trying to check and see if there are any other
Okay,
questions.
so Peyton is asking me, when is the real snow supposed to start?
Girl, we are getting it in downtown.
We're
Well,
getting
Peyton's
it.
in Gaston, though.
Okay.
Just a little bit on
So right
the ground.
down 321. So hopefully it'll start to come in. We've got another band swinging in here, and that band that's
wow.
swinging in will probably be a little heftier. But once you get that now, that's going to be probably about as thick as it gets for you. We're not talking about whiteout conditions, but we are talking about steady, consistent snow, which is what we're already seeing here in downtown Columbia.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned
Yeah.
whiteout conditions because I can't find the comment now, but somebody on the, here it is. It was Rena. She says, no. It was Emma. She says, what do you mean by it won't be a whiteout? She wants to understand what that phrase
Like a
means.
blizzard.
Okay.
A
Like where
blizzard.
everything is covered,
Yeah,
where you
like
see
you
nothing
can't
but white.
see anything but white, and it's just blowing snow. No. It's not going to be that. We're not at that point now. We're just happy to get some decent snow showers
Yes.
that will accumulate. We love some snow, but definitely not white out. We're not talking about what you would get in Buffalo, New York, or
Yeah.
anything like that. Just a good snow shower. It wouldn't be at the point where you can't see your hand in front of your face, snow coming down like that.
Yeah.
No, it won't be that thick for us.
And Emma's question made me laugh a little bit because I don't know if you all were watching. We were on air on WIS from 8:30 until 10, and we went to Derek's live shot. He's in Newberry County, and he had sent video already, so I knew it was snowing some. But then when we went to his live shot, like it was all white behind it. I'm like, where are you? And what has happened? Like I thought conditions had changed. Derek had stepped inside the hotel to make us all hungry with the breakfast buffet, but it was like one of those white frosted windows behind him.
Right.
So we were looking. We were like, wait
I
a
was
minute.
like, what's
so
going on?
No whiteout conditions.
Jared got some breakfast.
Yes, he did. He did. He's going to be upset we calling him out again. So, Rocky, we were just talking about the Gamecocks game. Rocky says, headed to the Gamecocks basketball game. Should the roads be okay during or after the game? Rocky, also jump in and let us know where you're coming from. I mean, this is affecting a wide span of our viewing area, but I know people travel from all over.
Right.
I don't, if you're downtown Columbia, it's going to be different than if
Right.
you're trying to travel in from Newberry or Winsboro or
And then
Fairfield
I'll
County or
also
something.
venture to say, if you are comfortable driving in conditions like this,
Which a lot of people who live in South
yeah.
Carolina are not. I mean,
Yeah.
it's you need a little experience to know how to navigate these slick roads.
Right. And so if you have your four-wheel drive, your snow tires, and you've done this many times before, we got a lot of truckers in the area who have the day off. And if you're comfortable driving in this type of weather, by all means, go ahead for it. But, of course, try to stay off the roads and, stay on the road if you are out in it, not off the road in a ditch, right? So, but be careful out there, Rocky. If you're comfortable with it, it should be fine. Right now, we're seeing just the slushy stuff. The roads are fine, and so if the game starts at 1, maybe about 2:30, 3 o'clock or so.
Rocky said he's over in Lexington.
Yeah, and so I can see it us having some steadier showers around that time. So just be aware that a little more will be on the road when you come out of the game.
Oh my gosh. So Dakota, do you remember the Lunchbox restaurant that used to be downtown?
I miss the Lunchbox.
Girl, we missed
so
the Lunchbox
much.
so bad. That was my go-to, grilled
We
cheese and
miss
chili.
you.
That's
Come
what I wanted.
back.
So Dakota is giving us all the feels on the live feed. She's on Facebook. She says, "Tell Greg this makes me miss the Lunchbox in downtown Columbia." Those ladies had the best lunch, and it was a favorite of his when he first moved. Dakota, you are absolutely right. Like all of us would be over at the Lunchbox like 3 or 4 times a week. So
3 or 4 times a week. And look, if you are trying to get a business in downtown Columbia, do something with very simple, quick, lunch-friendly items, and we will be there.
Listen, that grilled cheese was on point. That was the best ever.
I always got the grilled chicken breast.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
I never tried
their
that.
grilled chicken.
I'm a
It's really
creature of
good.
habit. I just order the same thing all the time. Dwayne thinks I should have variety, but I'm like, listen, dude, just be happy when I find what I like, I stick with it. Dakota is a dude, by the way. Okay, Dakota, thank you. It's all good. Well, Dakota, thank you so much. I can't, I got my glasses on, but I can't see the profile picture and all of that stuff. So Pam says, I pulled up in my driveway. It had stopped. I looked at my phone for a few minutes and looked up. It was snowing again. And that's what you've kind of been describing as kind of these waves of snow.
Waves. Yeah. Snow comes down in waves. Snow comes down in waves and in bands. And as that happens, you'll just have to kind of wait it out. If you're like me and the kids really want some snow, I know mine really do, just make them wait a little while before they go out. Yeah, so they can have something to really, I don't know, I'm sure we'll probably make some snow angels. If they're trying to pack it together for a little snowman, just give it another couple hours.
And you know what? Somebody asked, they said it's a controversial question.
Yes.
Everybody can weigh in. We will weigh in just a second. But are you a fan of snow cream? I think was the question. So Brooke might be able to find down there. Oh, Jeff is asking the favorite drink too. While you all contemplate that, we'll have everybody weigh in on your favorites. I do want to give you 2 updates. So first of all, they had a whole big grand opening for Finley Park, the renovated park, beautiful in downtown Columbia. And I know kids had big dreams of going and sliding down that big hill over there. Well, the park is closed for the weekend. So I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't want you to venture out in the conditions if you were trying to get over to the park. I mean, just to take pictures or anything else. It is closed, and so they have Columbia police officers over there making sure that the park is closed off. And we have just learned, my news director, Mary Beth Jacoby, just came and handed me a piece of paper. Parks in Irmo are closed. So we obviously have our crews out everywhere. Derek is in Newberry. Intisar is in the Ridgeway, Fairfield County area. And so we had Lena. She was going to go over to Finley Park because we just knew that's where we were going to catch up with the kids. And since that was closed, Lena head out to Irmo to their park. But now that park is closed. So y'all let us know where you're out enjoying the snow. But like Vaughn said, it still might be a little bit early.
Yeah. We've got some time. I'm waiting for that heftier batch to move in, probably around just after lunchtime. It's starting to move in now, but that's probably going to be our slightly heavier band coming through, and that should stick with us probably into the evening. So off and on into the evening.
Oh, so, it was Dakota. Yeah, Dakota, we love hanging out with you. Good question.
Yes.
Controversial question about snow cream. Are you Queens a fan?
I don't know a whole lot about snow. That's when you get the snow and you mix it up and eat it or something?
Yeah.
Probably
Make
not for me. It's probably going to be no for me because, of course, as you know, it takes a grain of dust or dirt to make a snowflake.
Yes. I sort of kind of feel the same way, but my son Nicholas made some the last time we had snow, and it was amazing. So that made me a fan, even though normally I would be like, absolutely not.
And see, and that's the other thing. We never get enough snow to get some good, clean snow.
Pure snow. That's what I need. Yes, that's what we need. So Jeff is wanting to know, coffee or hot chocolate? Actually, it depends, because if I have a little bit of a scratchy throat and if I'm really, really cold, I love what do they call it? The medicine bottle, but I think it's like the honey citrus mint tea over
Okay,
at Starbucks.
okay.
But I'm not a coffee drinker, so a hot chocolate's a good go-to for me.
Yeah, hot chocolate for me relaxes me and will put me to sleep. So I'm having hot chocolate when I'm at the house on the couch.
What about when you're at work on the
I'm
grind
having the
and
coffee.
the weather? Okay.
I'm having the coffee at work.
Yeah,
Yes.
in the weather center on the grind 24/7. She's definitely drinking the coffee. So Terrell wants to know how much snow is now expected in South Carolina. I know you guys have been talking all week about kind of the low end of the spectrum, the high end of the spectrum.
Well, the low end now is 2 inches. 2 inches.
We already have an inch,
yeah,
right?
because we already have a good solid inch in several areas. And the high end up towards Lancaster, Chester, I mean, that's probably at about 9 inches. I mean, that's the high end. Yeah, I'd say from 2 to 9 inches. And of course, the Central Midlands right in the middle of that. 4 to maybe 6, maybe 4 to 6.
Wow.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, now that it has started, usually the models will back off, but they're not backing off. They're staying with it. And I'll go and look at it, and we're going to be coming up on TV here at 12, and I'll give you some brand new numbers on that, what we're seeing. So we should have got a new model update since I did the last one. And so I'll give you the latest numbers. I'll let you know, Terrell.
Listen, Vaughn is on point, y'all. Like I said, she has been calling this and keeping us updated ever since Monday. And, I was going to get on social media. And y'all know me. Sometimes I'll, have a little clap back or whatever. But you know what? Our whole focus is just making sure that you're prepared. And earlier in the week, Vaughn was shooting us straight. She was like, listen, I'm not going all in on this. I do want to mention it because if it happens, I do want people to be prepared. I mean, and on the serious note, I mean, the snow that we're getting right now, it's fun for everybody to look at, right? But on a serious note, if you have an elderly family member or a parent that you help take care of, or if your child relies on certain prescriptions or medications, or, just in terms of how you need to rearrange your schedule in terms of childcare and other responsibilities, to know about the possibility of snow. One of my friends, Jennifer Wilson, is her birthday weekend. If she's watching, happy birthday, Jen.
Happy birthday.
But she was planning a girls' weekend. So, it wasn't a life or death situation, but did she want to risk being stuck somewhere and maybe not being able to get back to her families and, her family and kids, or do they want to postpone? And so they decided to postpone. And so that's why as soon as they see the possibility of this, our First Alert weather team will give you an idea of what they're seeing. They will let you know what the models are showing, and then they will add in their expertise. I mean, my God, Vaughn's from Orangeburg and has lived here most, if not all, of her life. I mean, she knows our weather patterns, and she knows how these things are going to come together. She knows how these models match up to real life in South Carolina. And at the beginning of this, you were saying, there's one way we get snow in South Carolina. And she became convinced throughout the week, and I know, like I said, all these internet meteorologists were out there. I can't believe they're mentioning snow and all the hype and this and that and the other. We don't do that here. We share the facts of what they see in the models, what they see in the data, to let you know what to expect. And then by Thursday, everybody was like, oh, snow, snow, snow. And I'm like, y'all keep that same energy you had earlier this week when she was giving her forecast. And listen, Vaughn's too nice to tell y'all all of that, but I was ready to go in. But I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave it right there. And y'all just listen, I would get all in my feelings about that. So I'm going to leave that alone. Let me see if y'all have a few more questions, because Billy said, hi, ladies, just stopping by. The girls and I are watching. Hi, Corey and Carter and Kaza. We love you. Love from your aunties. They are watching, and Jeff says he doesn't make snow cream nowadays, although he says you add condensed milk and vanilla flavoring. But still, Jeff and Dakota, we're not doing it unless we have pure, clean snow.
I need a nice mound of clean snow.
All right. Wanda says it's snowing good in Red Bank. Audrey says, hi, Judy from New York City. One caveat, if SCDOT has not treated the roads, even those with experience driving in snow may have difficulty. Audrey, that is such a great point.
Thank you, Audrey.
She says, I drive in snow here, meaning up in New York, but prefer not to drive in snow in South Carolina. That is a great point, Audrey. And this is the thing. I'm not calling any names. But a certain general manager here at WIS, Robbie Thomas, anyway, he has a four-wheel drive, so he was like, I could drive in anything. And our news director, Mary Beth, was like, sir, absolutely not. You cannot. So the point is, if you don't have to be out, don't be out, because this is the thing. It's unexpected. One unexpected slick spot, and that's why the ice was so problematic last week. even if you didn't see it out on your road. The problem with the ice is you don't always see it.
Right.
And so you hit one slick spot and you end up in the ditch, which
You're in the
several
ditch.
cars were in ditches all
Several.
around here in Columbia, not just in Newberry in the upstate. There was a tractor trailer off in the ditch over off the interstate near Percival. So, you know, we're not going to play when it comes to dangerous weather conditions. We're going to give you the update. We're going to give you the heads up, and we're going to rely on you to use your common sense to do what you know you need to do to keep your family safe. So that's
Yeah.
where we stand, right?
That's where we stand.
That's where we stand.
Yes, that's where we stand. And it's still coming down. Since
It
we've been
is.
on this
Oh my
video,
gosh.
it has not stopped here in downtown Columbia. So if you're not seeing it yet, give it a little more time. It is going to come in. I expect everyone in the Midlands to see some snow before the day is over.
Okay, Kim has a special request.
Okay.
Kim says, if you guys can get a break, it would be really cool to have a snow angel with the weather people. So you and Sandra
Ooh.
and Chandler and Peyton.
I don't know if
and
we have
Adam.
enough grass here at the station.
Well, I see a snowy area across
we may
the street,
have,
Vaughn,
yeah, we may have to
right across
leave.
Bull Street.
Yeah.
I feel like you can do a snow angel
Yeah,
over there.
we may have to go over
Maybe.
there. But
Maybe.
yeah, it's not
But-
on our property.
No,
I
we don't
think
have a lot of
we don't
grassy
have a lot of
services at the
grass here.
station, and I don't see them. I don't foresee a break for the First Alert Weather Team anytime soon. But you know what? We will pass that request on to Derek and Intisar because they are out in the elements in some
are.
grassy areas, so we might be able to get them and their
And it's starting to look nice in Ridgeway.
Ridgeway is so pretty.
Ridgeway is so pretty with the snow
Yeah.
backdrop. And Derek is in Newberry.
Yeah, he's in Newberry. He went
always
over to
gets
Newberry
great
College, and
snow.
I want to see
Yeah.
the Opera House covered in snow.
Oh, yeah,
you know
yeah,
that's
yeah,
pretty. Really, really
Yeah,
pretty.
and I was telling you in the past, years past, I have done snow coverage in both of those towns.
You have?
In
Yes,
years
yes,
past.
yes.
Back in the old days.
I bet somebody could pull those pictures up,
Yes.
flashbacks. Yes. Okay, so somebody asked about your hometown. When do y'all predict it for Orangeburg?
Yeah, Orangeburg is just not
That's
starting to wrap in.
Jess.
I've been looking at it because, you know, my kids have been calling. You know they are. They want to know when they're going to get it as well. And it's coming. It's coming. I've been trying to look at my future radar and... yeah, just give it a little bit longer. It's going to wrap in there for you. And when I keep saying wrap in, I'm looking at DOT camera.
Okay.
I'm trying to explain.
Is that Segra Park?
That's Segra.
The field
yeah.
is covered. Look at
They
that.
have it covered with
they
their
have it
tarp.
covered.
Yeah, they have
But
their
the tarp
on
is.
it.
But is the tarp
Yeah.
white? Is what I'm asking.
I'm not sure. I don't think we're getting a good color, a good picture.
Picture.
A good color
Somebody
from
over
that.
at Segra
But
Park
yeah.
called
Send
me.
us a good
and Liz,
picture.
send us a good picture. I want
Yeah.
to know because I want to know if the if the tarp is blue and it's covered
Snow.
in white.
Right, and then snow is falling here
Yeah.
at
Lake
Lake Murray. So when I keep saying wrap around, if you watch this for a few frames, you can see what's over near the mountains. Do you kind of see how that blue is starting to kind of slowly drift south?
Yeah.
Well, that's the part that Orangeburg has to wait on, unfortunately.
Oh,
Yeah, we
okay.
got to wait for that. It's up near Lawrence and Greenwood, now all over Newberry and Saluda. It just has to build in and kind of wrap in, and that's when we'll get our opportunity to get some snow. I know. Just so far, we haven't really seen much. Sumter, you're on your second round, so send us some pictures from Sumter. I haven't heard any chatter from Sumter. What's going on down there? And then someone in Lexington was asking about snow. I'm tracking it between Lexington and Pillion right now, coming down pretty good. Probably about to get on Highway 321. South Congaree and Gaston getting snow in Lexington as well.
Okay.
Eastover, you're getting some. Maysville, Bishopville, so Lee County, you're getting nice snow coming in Lee County. And then up near Camden, Elgin, Blythewood, Winnsboro, Pontiac, all seeing some decent snow. And now I know it's not as heavy or as thick as you want, but we're doing pretty good. It's stacking
any
up.
snow in South Carolina
Yeah.
is beautiful to see. And
It's stacking
I
up.
mean, I know some of the kids wish it had been like a school snow day.
Right.
that, you know, we can't be responsible for the timing of it, but enjoy it, you know. And our main thing is we just want you to stay safe. And some schools have already made the call to just have e-learning on Monday because they are concerned about the potential of the refreeze that you mentioned
Right,
earlier. Like
right.
everything's really pretty right now. Things are cool. The roads have been treated.
Right.
DOT was very proactive in getting out early. They did a news conference on Thursday, and they were already out pre-treating. And one of our new reporters, Tanner Gilmartin, is with us. And I was like, well, gosh, you know, is it really effective to treat so early? But they said it really does give them a protective layer. Because I was
Right.
like, you know, cars are driving and all of that. Is it really going to hold up by the time the snow gets here? And Vaughn, it's coming down heavier in Columbia now.
It is.
I
And
might be
so
getting a little excited.
Jennifer
Oh my
is
gosh.
asking, what are the chances it's going to stick to the roads? The chance is 100%.
100%, Jennifer.
Well, and because again, we're already seeing it. Now the treated roads won't be as bad. The untreated roads, we're already seeing it kind of start to accumulate on that road that wasn't very heavily traveled. And since a lot of people aren't traveling right now, a lot of those secondary and, you know, rural roads, they are sitting and it's stacking up on there. I know it is a little bit warmer on those roads than on the grassy surfaces, but with the way these temperatures are coming down, I mean, when we get to those 23 temperatures like we see up towards our north, when we get those everywhere, those road temperatures are going to be falling as well. So those temperatures will continue to come down. And, you know, DOT, I'll have you know,
Yeah.
they protect the temperatures of the road. That's not something that everyone
put
has
out?
access to.
Really?
You have to be special.
Oh,
To get
are you
access.
special? Do
I'm
you
not.
know? Oh.
I do not.
Well, you are.
I
You are.
do not
DOT
have
would like you to
it.
know Vaughn is very special. Now you're making me
DOT.
want to go find out the road
I
temperatures.
know. And you know, we used to have Hannah over there. We don't have anyone at DOT right now that we know. But send me some road temperatures, DOT.
DOT, please send Vaughn the road temperatures.
Send me some
Just
asphalt
let her know
temperatures.
she
Let
wants.
me know.
She's into the science and the data. We need to know the road temperatures.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about y'all been doing a great job. You
They
really have. We
have.
appreciate your crews being
They
out there,
have.
and we appreciate everybody listening to the advice from our DOT leaders and the crews they were talking about earlier to not be on the roads if you don't have to give them room to work. That is so important because they're out away from their families, you know, while
Yeah.
their families are dealing with
Yeah.
whatever the conditions are at home. They are out trying to make conditions safe for everybody else. So hats off and our really heartfelt gratitude
Right.
and thanks to all of our first responders. I mean, you know, obviously Highway Patrol and, you know, local law enforcement, but DOT, the folks over at the hospitals, the folks at assisted living communities who are just really holding it down to take care of our most vulnerable communities. We thank you and we love you so much for that. We really do.
Aw.
Yeah, we do. Snowing pretty hard in Newberry. Thanks for the updates. That's from Karen. Also, there was a funny comment. Reno said, my job telling me to drive to Casey. They got me bent. Listen, Reno, if you got to get to work, you know, I don't want to mess up your job situation, but just give yourself extra time. Give yourself a
But
lot
my
of
thing
extra
about
time.
going places, if you could probably right now get
there
someplace,
okay, yeah.
But how are you? What happens when it's time to leave?
Well, that's
And,
my point
you
because I
know,
brought my blanket, I
Right.
brought like all the things.
Yes.
So, and Dwayne drove me in, but I'm just here till we're done. So, you know,
Right,
I'm not
right.
trying to go out because I don't, you know, we got hotel rooms down there, but I don't even want to go out. Like, if I'm going to go out
Yeah.
and play in it, then it's going to be a wrap for TV.
Right.
But, you know, yeah, you're right. Once you get there,
Once
which
you
takes
get
me
there,
back to
then
the
what?
game, you got to get back home because the
Right.
game starts at 1, won't be over until what, 3 maybe?
maybe 3.
So now you're going to be traveling around 3:30, 4.
And then once the sun starts to go down, your temperatures are falling faster. And so you do run that risk of that frozen roadway, especially those secondary roads. So yeah, it's a little bit too dicey for me. You know, I made soup and I'm going to I'd stay home if I could.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll be right down the road. We'll be very close to work. So we won't have to worry too much about that.
All right, girl, we have just had a wonderful time with y'all because it is 11:47 and we have got to be down in studio in about 12 minutes. So we're going to just take a pause really because we'll be here with you throughout the day. You'll be able to stay connected with us through the WIS app here on Facebook and wherever you get all of your digital live streams. We
Yes.
will be here. If we need to be on air, we'll, you know, cut in. I know, you know, some people who are not as impacted as others, you know, you want to see, I don't even know what we have on TV today, girl. I haven't had a chance to look. But just know that if we go on TV, it's because we need to go on TV,
Right,
okay?
right.
Just understand that and know that we will keep you updated. If you missed it earlier, The park at Finley Park is closed, and also the Irmo Park is closed. So, if the kids are bugging you to go find a big hill, just do something in the neighborhood. Stay close to home. Don't go venturing out different places, because a lot of places are closed. And we have updates on all of the closings that we have received on WISTV.com. Vaughn and I obviously are here, and the whole team is here throughout the day, but there's a ton of people working behind the scenes. So light up with the hearts and give a big hand of applause for all of our team members behind the scenes who are working to keep you updated, getting us the information so that we can share it with you on air, online, on WISTV.com, on the WIS app. That we haven't heard any really big warnings about potential power outages, but just know that's always a possibility. So just think safety first, flashlights instead of candles, make sure your devices are charged up, and just make sure you're prepared to weather it. I mean, this thing will move out by Sunday.
By 2, 3 a.m. early tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll do like we always do. We'll get through it together.
We will. We will. All right. Y'all have a great day.
Stay tuned to WIS and WISTV.com.